Good morning.
Phew!
A little humid today.
It is hot and early and humid and rough. Although we've been getting a lot of rain, I feel like we're in that sauna stage where it just keeps raining and it's really hot, so it feels like you're just being steamed to death. You like just walk outside and you're automatically just sticky and gross. It's really sad. But it's summertime, right? Which means we have lots of blooms. The yard's not in like totally tip-top shape, but this is real life. We have so many other things going on, but we have to take a tour because I have some fun lilies to show you. I have some fun blooms. I have some things that are not doing well at all. I don't know if it's partially due to neglect or just to the fact that we never mulched this year. We have like kind of weeded sporadically when things have gotten out of control, but we've kind of, you know, let this yard do what it's gonna do and has had very minimal interference by me, which some things have loved and some things are like, you know, toast. So we'll just give you an idea of what's happening. One of the first things I wanted to show you though, because last year we did the seed giveaway, and I always do, I give you a mix of like echinacea seeds. Now, if you know, coneflowers don't always come true to seed. So what happens is you plant the seeds, and if the bees pollinated and, you know, crossed varieties, which I have a ton of in my garden, there's the potential to get new varieties. But I want to show you something, because last year I took the mix that people got in their seed giveaway and I planted some. All of these are from that mix. So I thought some fun things have happened. One, this is definitely not Echinacea purpurea. This is some type of a hybrid. It's like strawberry, like almost like a strawberry wine color. It's beautiful. I love this. This is actually going in the sun garden. So this has become my Echinacea trial bed. Are you surprised? I know. I'm babbling, all excited. But look at this one. It's got like a green, like little dot in the cone, which eventually will become this brown. But this is a lighter pink. These are pretty normal. This is kind of like what you usually get, but look at the tinge. There's like almost a corally salmon color around the tips of that. Like, I don't know, or if these are just being fancy, or if they're all just gonna go back to the pink next year, which I doubt, but they're really bright. And then this one, and this is from one plant. This is not multiple plants. This one has two different colors. How cool is that? I mean, it's fun. So anyway, if you got seeds and you have like really cool colors coming up, or if you have something like unique, share it with me, because, you know, they're still my babies even though they're in your yard. Lots of fritillaries out. Loving the coneflowers. But yeah, so this is the garden that we did. It was the rose garden, and Carding Mill is surviving the Japanese beetles. For some reason, the first flush of blooms usually happens in June. This year, it's happening in July, which also means the Japanese beetles are out. So you can see we've like, we have some petals that are kind of on the ground because we've had to manage them a little bit. And I don't spray anything, I just hand pick. Usually by this time, all these are deadheaded, and then we'll get a second flush later on in the year. But they're so gorgeous right now. I can't do it. So I'm coexisting with the Japanese beetles, even though I have traps set up, because they are like, the bane of my existence. But anyway, so this one is in blue. This is beautiful. Look at these two together. Oh, just amazing. We have Kismet raspberry in the center here. This is where the bird bath was last year. I took that out, and I think it's a good thing I did, because you know me, I overstuffed this place, and it's but it's growing. Look how beautiful those are. They're my favorite. The Sonic Bloom Wagelia, it's reblooming now. It bloomed in the spring. It was gorgeous. Same color as that raspberry Kismet Echinacea. It was so pretty. So I'm happy that's kind of filling out, but also growing upright because it's so stuffed, which I like. I don't want this to get to be like this massive shrub. So that's kind of cool. The lupins did amazing. I'm saving seed. This is going to be part of the seed giveaway this year, because the lupins, oh my God. Okay, this doesn't look like much now, but all of these were blooms. Like the stalks of seed pods, they were all blooms. And look at, these are snails. very wet now. Look at the snails just hanging off. Look, snails on my daylilies. This is the first year that I've seen multiple snails on things. Like, I find them sporadically. This year, I mean, we've had like what, rain every day now. We started out with a drought and now we're like really getting out the mud boots. So the snails are happy and they're just out and about instead of hiding. What else? Here's a beauty. This is Catherine Carter. I mean, how can you beat that, right? I love that. Tumbleweed. So this was a really popular one. I think it's still really popular. It was popular for a couple years now. It's not a perfect bloom on it. It's a little splotchy, but you can see why. Look at the teeth on this. And it always has that. Like every bloom is like really toothy and just really vibrant. So this, I'm making a lot of crosses with this year. And then thanks to Jax, we have a random tomato plant. But look, it's so healthy, I can't yank it. So we have a little bit of everything happening in this garden. Some weeds, you know, don't look too close at the borders. We're all good. We're all human. What else? We have, okay, so this is more, these are more cone flowers. These are Kismet raspberry as well. Look how big they got. Is this not just a gorgeous sea? I mean, when this goes off, we're gonna do another little, probably a mini reel, just to look at those, because that's gonna be such a drift of color. That makes the biggest impact when you have a drift of color. So anyway, so that's the little rose echinacea mixed garden. They all turn out to be mixed gardens.
Did you hire someone and not tell me?
If I wanted, no, I wish. Can I do that?
This looks too good.
I know, it's weird,
to be
right?
so neglected.
No, we have holes though, look. And the problem too is when you have bare ground, which you know I don't like, that's where the weeds have come in. So when we weed, the holes are more visible. It's not like, I don't know. I have to fill those holes, so I need to go shopping. I haven't even been shopping. What is wrong with this season? Yeah, but anyway, this was gorgeous. The honeysuckle really did well this year. It was blooming. It did great. It's not in bloom now, but the little berries are starting to come. They get sweet little berries on them. And the climbing rose, Strawberry Hill, which was like my pride and joy forever. You know, last year, no, it started, was it last year or the year before? I hacked it back and I hit a wrong cane, and the cane that was all the way up to the top went, you know. So then I had Joe Pye weed in front of this clematis, which really liked the fact that it was shading its roots. Like the clematis was happy with Joe Pye weed there. I moved it so the rose could grow. We got hit with a late frost this year. It looked terrible, but it's actually starting to rebound. So it may be another 5 years before that gets its act together, but it's not entirely its fault. And the clematis, I mean, isn't that a lovely shade of brown? Where else do you find something like that? That is toast. It's actually still alive. I need to clean it up and it will come back because it does that sometimes.
What caused that?
It drought and there was disease. It kind of got like a leaf spot, and then it just took over and I didn't really have time to manage. I saw it happening and I just left it. Now it's just totally dried out and toast. But should we go in the vegetable garden?
Sure.
All right. So this is, well, it was the vegetable garden. It is now like the black swallowtail garden and the daylily hybridizing garden. But hopefully one day I get my vegetable garden back. It's also a little weedy, so bear with me. Okay, we have to show some love here. Look at the eyeliner lilies. I mean, are these not amazing? These are amazing. They're my favorite, and they have been there for years. The dill is randomly just popping up because I love my black swallowtail caterpillars, and there are a ton on there. Actually, look at this little guy. See how cute he is? He's a little guy. So anyway, there's a ton of those. So I have to leave them because, you know, they're part of my pride and joy too. Strawberries are the only thing probably edible, other than the herbs that are going crazy. And the leaves, actually, these are starting to look pretty good. They're starting to beef up, finally give us some strawberries. So let's see some blooms. Random tomatoes that I'm actually giving a trellis. See what happens, you know. All right, so, you know, a couple dark, nothing fabulous. This is kind of, you know, this is okay. Nothing great. This one's beautiful. This is Hillbilly Sweetheart. this one in the back too. Look at, wow. Look how cool that is. So that's got lots of ruffles. That's very pinky and yellow and edgy and ruffly. That's super fun. Burst of interest is really fun. Look at this one. So that's pretty unique. That's probably one of the most unique ones that I have. Oh, I have moss flying around me. So this one is kind of interesting. It's pretty tall, very slender buds. This was a cross out of Dream Sequence. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm not like totally thrilled, but it's cute. It's a cute little daylily. What do we have here? We have, what is this one? I cannot remember. Blessings Beyond Measure. Okay, so this is supposed to be totally dark with the edging. It has actually bloomed like this, which I love. It's like molten lava. Can I keep that like not perfect bloom habit? Does anybody know? I don't know what conditions are making this happen, but I kind of like this. It's like got broken color and it's a total mess, but I like that. I mean,
can you try to hybridize that?
No, it's gonna come back like this. I mean, this whole patch, it's been like one will bloom perfectly, one will bloom kind of perfectly, and then we get like a couple of those. But if the rest of them bloom like that, who knows? I mean, they are different stalks, like different plants, but it all stemmed from the one. So I don't know what happened, but we'll see. But I like that. I like that it's kind of unique. We have some interesting, I don't know, yellow, ruffly. It has like this pink tinge here. This is out of a bearded cross. And actually, if you see, like there's these little raised tissue spots there. That's actually bearding. It's out of Last Kiss. So I have a couple bearded daylilies over there that I might try to cross just to keep that bearding going. But Brad Best does most of the breeding with bearded daylilies. They are beautiful, but they're expensive, as with anything. Hybridizers put a lot of time, money, years, sweat, tears into hybridizing something really unique. So while everyone thinks that hybridizing, oh my God, you spent how much on lilies? I skipped to the good stuff and paid the hybridizer for their work for the last 5-10 years on doing it, sometimes decades. So that's why daylilies, when you're buying specialty ones, they're really expensive. You have to watch them for 3 years. You have to multiply them. You have to, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and they track all of their information. I've only started to do that and touch the surface, which is why I like purchasing the higher end daylilies, because they've already got me to a point where they're gorgeous. So I love that. So I appreciate all the hybridizers' work. This is from Blue Ridge Daylily. This is called Some Bunny Loves Me, or Every Bunny Loves Me. I don't know, one of the two. Luster Dragon. This is from Gossard at Heavenly Daylilies. That's gorgeous. That's a diploid. There was some crosses I made from that one. I can't wait to see bloom. This is a cute guy. This is out of Killer Green Bananas. This is pink and purple, and it's got that limey throat. All of the seedlings from Killer Green Bananas are massive, like huge flowers. So there's my mental note. If I ever cross with Killer Green Bananas, I'm gonna get a huge kid out of it, which is good to know. So anyway, so that's a little bit about what's blooming today, but every day I come out here and it's like, you know, who's blooming? What did I find? Oh, wait, we have to see Burst of Interest. Not Burst of Interest. That's Burst of Interest. This one is Brown Delicious. I need like a catalog for my brain. This one's gorgeous. Look at these flowers. Like, I even like the pattern on it. It's amazing. I have a ton of these. That might get a spot out there somewhere just because it's been so prolific in blooming. It's bright. Not one bloom has had a bad bloom on it. I like that trait. There's some that have bloomed and I'm like, not so pretty today, but then the next one's gorgeous. I don't know if that's environmental, which it might be, but there are some that don't care about the environment that they're growing in and they just bloom perfectly every time. I love that. Those are the ones I'm taking to like make crosses of in my own yard, because that's smart.
So when you say cross, these are daylilies that you purchased, that you created a cross, or?
Yeah, I'm creating crosses from some are registered daylilies that you can go online and buy from the hybridizer, or you know, you'll find them in the online groups or on the daylily auction. But a lot of the ones that I'm crossing that are seedlings, like for example, like this one. Now this is a cross I made from the Master's Voice. The Master's Voice is actually a registered daylily from Blue Ridge. It was one of my first very expensive daylilies that I bought. I love it. It's a great parent. And so now this seedling is not registered, but it's beautiful, and I'm gonna keep it, or I'm gonna like try to like multiply it out and sell the fans.
So that's an original creation by you right there.
That's original in the fact that I have daylilies in my yard that I crossed, saved the seeds, grew the seed, and that's my seedling.
So you were a matchmaker, and that's what happened.
Yes, I made the cross, but it came from registered daylilies. So hybridizers who had already made and registered their daylilies, and who do that for a living.
So can you claim that as yours?
Well, yeah, but it's kind of similar to a lot of other ones. So I wouldn't register anything that doesn't look like a brand new, nobody else has it.
They all look the same. What are you talking about?
No. Like, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at that. Look at the teeth on that. That's a seedling. That's Little Red. What is it called? Little Red and the Wolf times Space Coast White Fang. So I bought those seeds because they both were red with the white toothy edge. And I got a seedling with the white toothy edge without paying $500 for Space Coast White Fang. So that's kind of also another reason that you can buy seeds. If you like one, if you like the look of one, but you don't want to spend $500 in the collection to get it, you can get two similar looking plants, buy the seed cross, grow your own seedling, and then you have something similar to it.
So this one right here doesn't get a name. It's going to be named after both its parents then.
Well, I don't know. It does. What did I name it? No. But, oh, but you know what I crossed it with? So I crossed this seedling with tumbleweed. So this might end up getting a nice white toothy edge, which would be amazing if the coloring stays, but we'll see what happens. See, that's the exciting part. Then you take your seedlings and you cross them with other things, and then it's like, woohoo!
Yeah, but most daylilies look similar, so to me, I think that's beautiful. I don't really know why you wouldn't.
But if you went online and looked for a light pink daylily with a dark purple eye zone, there are quite a few, and the size of the flower is different, and the height of the scapes are different. But that's pretty common. So I mean, in my opinion, it's beautiful, but it's common. Now this one is by the way, always be careful removing your buds if you have a pod. I can't tell you how many times I went to remove a flower off of a seed pod and the seed pod came off, and then I kicked myself. So this is the one that I posted last year. That was beautiful, had the stripes. It was my first daylily ever with stripes on the sepal petals, and it's coming back, it's blooming. I have a second fan of it. It's actually producing buds like even way down on the scape. I love that one, and that's unique. Like you can't really find too many with like that look. So we'll see how that looks and how it opens up. You know, it's been a little wonky this year, but they all really have been, and I think it's more of a conditions-based problem. This is out of Clown Pants. Look at the coloring on that. So this has like a really dark line, like almost like an outline around the eye zone, and then like that gorgeous deep color. That's a gorgeous daylily. It's got like almost like a white edge also lining the main petals. I like the look of that, but when I bought it, I was hoping it would have stripes on it. But this is a sibling plant. Look. So this, look, very similar coloring. It has the dark eye zone, it has the green, but look at the teeth on it. Look at the teeth, and can you see in here? Look at the stripes. Very interesting, right? So siblings can look very different. I have that whole corner. It has been like very different, very odd, very like, just very gnarly blooms. But it's exciting. I mean, even if some of them are ugly, like this one. Look at this little guy. So he put up like a 1 foot scape, but he's very similar. He's he's a sibling to this one, but he's much smaller, and he has the same look, but shorter habit. So it's interesting. They have lots of interesting things happen. This guy, look how big this is. Remember I told you Killer Green Bananas puts off huge kids? This is another one from Killer Green Bananas. This is the Master's Voice times Killer Green. Huge, huge flowers. You know, the blooms on it sometimes are blotchy and sometimes aren't. So last year they were perfect blooms. This year I think it's more because everything is kind of looking a little iffy. But these are out of Festivus. These are Festivus. Can you tell by the size and the style of the bloom? These are Festivus, and what's the other one? Double Stunner. So these are Double Stunner, and these are diploids. So these are, but a lot of them are similar, but the curliness in the petals are a little bit different, and the deepness of the red or the rich of the dark purple. They've all come out with that, but nothing double. And you know what? Why would they? They're beautiful, but they're all kind of similar. So these are siblings that all sort of look pretty similar, but they're beautiful. They're perfect. They haven't had a bad bloom on them. So that's interesting. So that's that. Oh, but look, it's so pretty to just come out here and, like, you know, see what's blooming. Every day is like Christmas, like, you know, my Christmas. Should we skip this garden? Because I see something over there.
I see a nice one over there that looks like it wants some
this
attention.
This is an original. This was like one of the first crosses I ever made, and it was just two plain old pink daylilies, and then I added Killer Green into the mix, and look how big the flowers got. So
that's yours.
Yeah.
That's an original. Created by you.
Yes, but from registered lilies, like
so,
everything.
So if you wanted to sell that, you're not going to, or you are?
I can sell any of these.
All right.
Why does it have to be original?
Well, you haven't named one yet, but you've been out here breeding for months and years on end.
I haven't named one. I have to find one that, like, is worth it. I'm actually doing this because it's so much fun, and I want something unique and rare. These are okay. I feel like I can get those anywhere.
So, you know what? If you and me had a third child and it wasn't really, you know, attractive, would you not name it?
Do you want to come up with names? Maybe that'll be your job. I don't even know if that's, I don't know if that's a good idea exactly, but we'll give you the option to name any daylily that is a seedling that is growing and beautiful.
Well, I get confused because you walk around here, you're showing me all these lilies, and then
these are all either ones that I've grown from seed. The seedlings are ones that I grew from seed. Sometimes I made the cross, sometimes I purchased the seed. So that's, I think, where you're getting confused. This one is a purchased seed.
There you go.
Okay,
all right.
I bought seed that somebody else crossed, and look at that. Is that not gorgeous? That is like a terracotta color, which actually I don't see a lot of. It has huge teeth, and it's perfect. This is the first bloom ever on this plant, and you know what? I lost the tag. I know it's a seedling because I took it from the driveway. It never got planted last year because I was like, oh, I didn't have room for it, and I had all my special ones I wanted to get in. This one got put in the front of the border because I had a lavender dieback. So I grabbed it from there, and it actually is turning out to be one of the most pretty, like, exciting daylilies in my yard. Like, look at that. That's gorgeous. That's gonna have a little fun today with a lot of those others over there.
I was about to say.
Yes. But look, and then there's also, like, this is in the same pot. Like, these got planted. There's 3 plants in there, so there was probably 3 seeds. But this also looks very similar, if you can tell by the way that the bud is forming. So I'm super excited about that. Hello. I'm super excited. That one's fun. Very fun. You know, does that one look like a typical daylily?
I like it, but to me, you know, I'm a guy. They all look alike pretty much.
That is terrible.
Well,
you need to broaden and expand your mind into the world
I would never be able to remember any of these names or
you don't have
even...
to. I have tags. I don't even know what that came from. But you know what? It's freaking gorgeous.
How do you know what to set that lily up with, though? How do you know who she's going to be?
I'm going to set it up with little red over there with the teeth. I want to keep the teeth going. I might put some stripes, you know, some of this on some striped ones over there. I might put this with molten lava. Who knows?
So if you bred a yellow lily with a blue lily.
I knew
Would
you were
it be
going to say
green?
this. There are no blue daylilies, although people are trying to get closer and closer to getting a blue near the pattern of the eye zone. But there are no blue daylilies, and you never know what color you're going to get. Sometimes the seedlings don't even look like the parents. That one over there with the stripes that I said it bloomed, it was my first one with the stripes on the sepal petals that bloomed last year. It was bred from 2 daylilies that it looks nothing like either of them. It looks nothing like the parent, either parent, pod or pollen. What else? Oh, Mama Mia's. I'm trying to save more of these. I'm trying to divide them because my old patch in the sun garden kind of is starting to like go away and be taken over by the native ones, which is fine, but this one is also a favorite. It's been a favorite for years. So I'm trying to, when this is done for the season, I'm gonna divide it, make bigger patches of it, because that's a beautiful color. It's like that salmony color. But this is the native one, and the pollinators love this one too. But it's very tall, it's plain pink. It's fine, I love it. But, I mean, when you get bright colors like that, that's so much better. So yeah, okay, so another one. Not that I want this to turn into a daylily tour, but how can you not give attention to this one? This is the first time this is opening, and this one is called Screaming Cherries. Kind of fitting, right? So maybe Miss Terracotta with the teeth is gonna go with some Screaming Cherries. I mean, it makes screaming teeth, I don't know. Let's see, Electric Ballet.
I'm sure the cherries would scream if they saw some teeth coming at it.
Yeah, but can you imagine like a terracotta colored with teeth and then a massive like ruffly bright green and like wine colored? I don't know. What would you get out of that? But that's exciting, right? What would you get out of that? I don't know, but we're gonna have to find out. Nate the Great. Look at this. So I thought all of these buds, because they were yellow, oh, I just knocked a bud off, but you know what? It didn't matter.
So that should be called Crazy Banana or something.
So I thought this was Killer Green Bananas because that's where it was, but it didn't bloom last year. So I know I moved it somewhere. I'll have to, when it blooms, I'll remember where I moved it, which I'm kind of sad about. Why did I do that? It's kind of dumb. But anyway, I made room for Nate the Great, who's also a giant yellow, but he's like a double. And he's been gorgeous. Huge flowers. Like every one has been huge. So Nate the Great's living up to his name. I still haven't planted catmint, but look at these intense orange. You know, I'm getting, you know, bugs are eating my petals, so like this one is not so fabulous. But everybody's got to eat, right? Ruby spider, look at this. But all right, so this is like the precursor to the peak bloom in this garden. And you know, this garden really got neglected this year, but it's filling in and you can't really see all the bad stuff happening, so we'll focus on the beauty. This is Baja Burgundy, Baja Sombrero Burgundy. Those 3 words go in the name somewhere. That is Adobe Orange. There's a lot of orange coneflowers. Remember I went on this like orange craze? I'm glad I did. They're really bright and they bloom. They're one of the first coneflowers to bloom. But we do have some lavender in here. I did put a patch of Festivus back there, which is so hard to find. Why would a hybridizer offer that? It just came out like 2015. Well, actually, that's 7 years ago now.
Where's the Festivus?
8 years ago. See this pink bloom? How do you not know what Festivus is? It's my favorite. That's gorgeous, yes. Crazy. And then, of course, Ruby Spider is right next to it. I mean, look at that. She's always a standout, but they get massive blooms. That one and Killer Green Bananas. Imagine the size flower you would get. Like, what would you get if you crossed the yellow with the green and that one?
I'm sure we're going to find out.
Well, I don't know where Killer Green went. I'd have to save some pollen so that when it finally rears its head, I can...
So if you see a Killer Green Banana, you're going to know that it's a Killer Green Banana.
Sure will.
Okay.
The ones that you pay for that are really expensive are expensive for a reason. They are massive. They have some unique trait that you don't forget. And when you invest in those lilies, usually you know where you put them. Except with me, I'm a little more, over the top. But I will find it, and I obviously would never have thrown it out. So I have to figure out where I relocated it to. But I know every year. Look at Festivus. Should we skip all this? This is a lot of poppies, A lot of drumstick allium. These are so cute. Pop these in wherever you can in the fall. The bulbs get planted in the fall. They are so whimsical and cute, and they just kind of fill in, and they give you a little pop of purple, which I told you I was like working on adding more purple to this garden last year.
Whatever happened to those purple puffy flowers? The ones that were like...
The outlet, they're done. Like those right there. That's a stalk that I haven't pulled out yet, but they went off.
Yeah.
They were here. I did add rue, which needs to be deadheaded, but that is a host plant, but it's also got blue foliage. I'm gonna put a whole bunch more. We have a hole back there, right behind that plant that you can't really see, but there's a big hole, and I'm gonna fill that. Or maybe I let that go to seed and reseed. That's cheaper. You'll like that idea, and it's probably gonna happen because I'm busy. But yeah, I got some rudbeckias, some hydrangeas, color-coded white, or no, the Price is White is this one. This is the Price is White. I added some white coneflowers in there this year. I like that. It's a nice little pop. Rubies, got a whole patch of ruby spider. I hope this one just goes off with a bang one day so I can get a gorgeous picture. I love, this one is like very photogenic. And then also, I have to give some, come. This is a seedling. Look at this. Is that not gorgeous? And you'd be happy to know that I named it 1520.
What?
I assigned the Daylilies numbers. So that one's been 1520 for like 2 years now. So
Wow.
Yeah, it's not very exciting. I can see from here a coneflower bloom that is gorgeous, and we're gonna go give it some attention because it needs it. But first, we have, this is Festivus. Now do you know why I love this one? How do you not know? This is like one of the most gorgeous. This is why I tried to hybridize with it. And you could tell, right? All the red with the yellow centers over there that I showed you were bred out of Festivus. They're amazing. It's such a beautiful spider. And then we have Lovely Lolly, who I had to actually start cleaning out. We had a euphorbia that was like growing on top of it. So the front half of the plant is really short, but it gets these beautiful, non-stop, just fully double cone flowers. Not great for pollinators. It does not have a lot of nectar. A lot of the double cone flowers are not the best for pollinators, but that's so unique that I love it, and there's nothing wrong with popping some in your garden.
Don't forget the coneflower you were gonna go show off.
Let's go look at that. Can I get in here? I don't even know. Oh, you don't come back here.
It's right there.
Yes, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my God. That's Fiery Meadow Mama. And I got that one. This is now 2 years old. And I divided it and I put some back there. And it's blooming and happy. The real first patch I planted, you did good, is right there. But something's eating the petals on it. This is the original patch right here. And clover, which grows like 3 feet for some reason. But anyway, so these, needed a little weeding. The weeds were starting to get so full and tall around them that, yeah. But can't do it all. So anyway, so this is just starting to take off. Once these blooms are in, once it's in peak bloom, we'll definitely do a tour because coneflowers are my thing. What else? I'm sweating.
It's been a while since you walked around this garden.
It is. You know what? Well, I walk around here every day, but it's fun to show what's happening. And I'm sure people want to know, want to see what really things look like prior to this video. The edging is not done. The weeds, look at, these are all weeds that are growing along the edge that just need to be yanked out. I never edged, I didn't do anything to this garden. But look, the peonies aren't deadheaded. The deer got to my tree lilies, although I have 4 that I will see bloom. Thanks for leaving me 4. Anyway, so this is a bit of a mess. Tons of weeds. But Hillside Splash is looking pretty good. This is a more unique variety of Simicifuga. You want to say that one?
No.
But I also have tons of weeds. But you know what? They're blending in this year, so next year will be a bit harder than this year because everywhere that weeds are sprouting and growing up, I'm just hoping other weeds aren't starting to sprout. So I don't know. Let's wave the white flag for this year. This one's beautiful. This is a seedling that has a little bit of baby teeth. See the baby teeth on it? Isn't that so pretty? I love that one.
Looks like it needs a
Beautiful.
cleaning.
It's beautiful.
Is that a cavity right there?
We'll cross that one. The daisies, the Shasta daisies are going off. Oh, I have a new one. Hello. I have a new one.
I gotta get around here.
Yes, it's blooming backward. Watch out, you're stepping on a baby. Look at this guy. So he's kind of interesting. Not super special, but interesting. These are MS times CAA. Like, I thought I was going to remember what that stood for. I don't know. I have a whole line of them, though. These are all siblings. So that's beautiful. I didn't even see that one. Lots of Moonlit Masquerade. I'll probably be dividing and selling fans of this because we just have a massive clump of them. And they're beautiful. And I have been crossing those.
So when you say cross and seedling, what's the difference?
When I cross, like, see how there's a tag hanging off this one?
Yep.
So I added pollen from another flower to this one. I tagged it so that if a seed pod is created in 2 months, I'll take the seed pod, I'll know who the parents are, and I save them. Then I grow those seeds in December, and what grows from the seeds are the seedlings that were created from that. So this right here is a seedling from someone else's cross. So I saw a post where someone said, I crossed this pod parent with this pollen parent, and it's up for sale. And I said, good, I'll take it and see what happens with the seedlings. That's what one of the blooms was. So we'll see. But anyway, so here are Shasta daisies. I love these. These are great for bouquets too. Look how long the stems are. But I like this one because it fills in and you can't see all the weeds behind the downspout.
So what's the difference between these and wild daisies?
Well, wild daisies, we used to have a whole bunch of them. They're very wispy. These have thick stems. They're really almost rubbery. It
looks like they're like doubled up, kind of.
Yeah, they kind of, yeah. The other daisies kind of do that. Yeah, daisies have that like single layer. Yeah, these are pretty. They're very tall. Normal like daisies are not. They kind of go like 3 feet, maybe 2 feet, 2.5 feet. We have some stinging nettle back there, which we had caterpillars on. I think they're a host plant for the red admirals, and we have had some red admirals, so I left that. Jax has happily trampled this mess, so we can now see the weeds. But anyway, so that's another story. And this is just a lovely line of hostas and weeds, so obviously not a priority on the long list of things to do. But we do have some Asiatic lilies blooming. Those are Commander-in-Chief, which are gorgeous, especially in a clump. I mean, it's almost like a shrub. And then it's almost easier to talk about what's blooming this way. This guy, that has easily become one of my favorite daylilies. Wild one. It is like, it's like mango and coral and like this school bus yellow, which doesn't sound great, but it's so gorgeous. It is like it has like risen above a lot in the last couple years. I bought multiple clumps of that from different people, and it is now starting to take off. I love the color, and I'm not really a yellowy orangey person, but the combo on that is amazing. If you don't have wild one, get it. You'll be amazed. And it's even more stunning in purple. I mean, in person. My mind went to purple because that's blooming purple.
Oh, wow. What is that?
That's a stilby. And that is a very fuzzy, short astilbe. But I love that one. A maple that is now starting to almost look like a tree. The deer are leaving it alone. And lots of 4-line plant bugs this year. This is one of the bad things that's been happening here. Do you see on the leaf? There's almost like this little, they like do pinholes. Here it is. Here's a good example. See the little pinholes? They're like little dots. That's what 4-line plant bugs do. And they come back every 4 years in mass. And they just destroy things. But you can hand pick them, but they're fast. They go underneath and they, it's better to just say, okay, here's your year, and then next year it'll be better. So they go away on their own. The deer have happily chowed this, but we're gonna get some side bud sunflowers. But unfortunately, they ate them. They didn't hit that one. You must have deer fenced that one well because they didn't hit the main bud. Don't ask.
It is amazing, folks. I'm like, hey, if the garden smells, they wouldn't come near it. And she's like, no, you got to hit every single plant.
Okay, I didn't say it like that.
Well,
I didn't say every single plant.
Kind of.
I would say you have to hit every single plant, and then you turn it into every single plant.
All right. Well, hey, I'm not great at imitating you, I guess.
I don't know. You put some pretty naggy tones on my imitations.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I'm offended.
Hey.
So what is happening here? Not much. I didn't really plant up the patio this year. We have, I threw in some peppers because I had extra pepper plants. But, we have the Golden Jubilee hyssop. Those are seedlings. Those were not there last year. And all the seeds kind of stopped at the rock ledge wall. And so they were growing in, and I'm like, you know what? Why not make that the backdrop? Because I had dahlias and stuff back there last year. But we have wild one. This is a gorgeous guy. This is Double Stunner, by the way, who we crossed Festivus with. And this one is always gorgeous. And look at the blooms. If you want one that's always going to give you 1,000,000 blooms a day, Double Stunner. It's heavenly Double Stunner, technically. I call it Double Stunner because that's a lot of words.
Now, do you introduce these lilies and let them get to know each other before you start breeding
Nope.
them, or do you just push them right into one another?
I'm horrible. I'm the promiscuous.
It's like, let's get this over with.
Yes, I am the initiator of promiscuous daylily sex.
Wow.
Yes. You are doing it, and and the only time that it doesn't work is when one's a diploid and one's a tetraploid. But sometimes I'm really good at knowing. I don't have very many diploids, so. But another thing I want to show. So I have two Raguchi. They're called the clematis, and they bloom with these beautiful little bells, which also would be really cute in bouquets. But this finally bloomed. I have so many up there, and it's actually mixed in with the Sweet Summer Love autumn clematis, and I love it. I'm just thrilled because it's actually growing. This sort of would die back like the one next to the vegetable garden, the one that looks like it's toast right now. That happened with this one as well, and I moved it to this trellis, and it loves it. I think because it's just able to get up and breathe. But I did force it to room with the Sweet Summer Love clematis. It's something flying around your pants.
That's fine.
But anyway, and then when they're done blooming, look at this. I don't even kind of want to take it off, but.
So that's the purple
It's so
flower.
cool. That was the bell. These are the seed heads that are forming. So anyway, it looks cool. And then when I have a bunch of these, the burgundy wine colored Sweet Summer Love clematis is gonna go off. So that I'm happy with this year, and I only did the one side. I do miss my black strawberry tomatoes on the other side, but
It's always good to switch it up every year, isn't it?
yes. But you know what I am missing also? My fountain.
Yes,
It is
I know.
still in the basement. And if you want, I will give you the perfect phrase to just impersonate me with.
Could you please?
Can you go
you?
get me that fountain? Yes,
You
you
just-
guys need to do that though, because you've been telling me you'll do it. I even forget about it, but there's a perfect spot for it, and there's no water sound.
Well, add it to your list of things that you need me to do.
I know. All right, so heavenly daylilies, Spider-Man's nemesis. It came from the Heavenly Gardens also.
This
Yes, this is a James Gossard.
looks like venom.
Spider-Man's nemesis.
Looks like, yeah.
I
venom.
love when this also goes off in mass. We actually just had one where it was like 8 blooms. They were every which way. But look, I mean, that is gorgeous. That is just you don't see that. That is unique. That is rare. I don't know what happened to my tree rose. That is a standard rose from David Austin. The left side Well, I know the right side died in the late frost. The left side still has a green cane, and I've been like waiting for it to just do something, and it's not even so. But they have a 5-year guarantee, so I'll probably get another one in the spring.
What if you cut the right side? You think it would?
I don't know. I would
the left
happily
side?
do that, but honestly, I just can't right now. But anyway, so that in the back we have like Cheyenne Spirit, which finally is producing something other than yellow. We have orange back there. See that one? So Cheyenne Spirit has like 3 different colors on its flowers. And then there's this is double scoop raspberry. And those are doubles. They get sloppy. I should be staking that right now so that when it rains, they don't fall over. But I'll be staking them when the rain comes and knocks them over. 'Cause every year I do that. Every year I know. Firelight, hydrangea firelight. So this is the same hydrangea that I planted in the corner back there. That one I had to hack back to like 2 feet, so it's shorter and recovering. This one's pretty well loaded. Looks pretty good. This is kind of part sun back here, so it doesn't get the most sun, but it's filled in. I love that it just filled this corner in. And I add this blue Carex.
Oh no, there's a dead Peppa Pig.
Oh.
She didn't make it.
I thought you were being serious about something.
Well,
Anyway, that is a native grass that I added there. So, and it's supposed to do really well. It's native. How can it not? Yeah, we're not going to go to the holding bed.
whoa.
That is a disaster.
The holding bed is on hold, folks. It doesn't look that bad, though.
Yeah, because you're about 30 feet back.
Well, what's up with that huge bush? My goodness.
Great, right? That's Sun King. That's an Aralia, Sun King.
Is it going to keep getting bigger? Or?
No, and it's actually not a shrub. It's a perennial. That dies back to the ground every year.
Wow.
Yes, and it gets gorgeous, gorgeous little flowers and black berries.
How many years has it been there?
What is it, 3 maybe?
I don't remember ever.
It's big
seeing
this
it
year. This
that
is the
big.
3rd year leap.
Wow.
What? Hosta white bikini? White bikini?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I know it's got bikini in the name. and the Brunnera, considering the drought we had in the very beginning, they're actually very happy now. The leaves are not getting as big as promised though. Remember I bought them and they were like massive leaves? That hasn't happened. And they don't want a lot of sun. So I don't know, maybe next year will be the 3rd year for those. So we'll see, but let's not even go there.
I know, you started walking towards it.
So this is getting by. And the Japanese beetles congregate every year on this. We do have a little bit of damage from them this year. But I'll tell you what happened.
Don't kill me.
I know. I have to do it because I'm not going to walk around with it.
Oh.
All right, so anyway, this split, do you remember? I was crying about it.
Yes.
This was actually a gift from my friends after our daughter went through a horrific COVID experience in March of 2020. And that following Mother's Day, my friend Kathleen bought me a tree. And it split down the middle in the winter. No, not even in the winter, in March. It split right down and it's still split. But you know what? Damn it, I'm leaving it. Because it's been zip tied and clamped and look at it.
Doesn't want
My
to die.
husband said you might as well just get rid of it. Just cut it right off. And it's just so beautiful. And the
I don't
Japanese
sound like
beetles
that.
Oh yes.
No.
Just cut it off. It's not gonna make it. You're only prolonging the heartbreak.
Yeah, you better work on that.
Yeah.
It's more deeper.
It's more deeper.
Might as
So
well
anyway.
get rid of it.
But anyway, look, the magic of this tree, this is actually shown the best. Look at the color tone difference. Like the new growth comes out in this gorgeous, gorgeous color. So it's supposed to have like this triple ombre effect. And that is a red bud. That is rising sun red bud. And you know what? It deserves a place here and I hope it fuses together and I hope it survives because
Maybe just reinforce it in the winter. Make sure
I
that
should
if we get
consult-
heavy snow,
I need to consult my arborist friend and say, hey, this is what happened. This is what I did. What do I do from here? Because maybe he'll have an idea. Because that would be smart. They know what to do. Well, I know they cable a lot of trees and they do stuff where trees split, and they can be saved sometimes. And this one is obviously not terribly affected by the split. So, and it was split for 2 weeks. Remember, we had COVID when it split.
yeah.
Oddly enough, 3 years later.
Splitting headaches and splitting bushes.
Oof. And I was like, you know what? On top of that, like, oh, having COVID and then seeing that, I was like, are you kidding me? We had the heaviest, wettest snowstorm. We didn't have any snow really all winter, and then spring hit, and we had the worst snowstorm ever, and we lost a lot.
Yeah, don't mind the air conditioners in the background. We're not filming from a commercial building.
This one, beauty school dropout. She's kind of tropically looking.
I can see why she dropped out of beauty school. A little heavy on the lipstick.
That's a Blue Ridge. That's a Blue Ridge Daylily. So the grasses. This gets a lot of attention in my shade garden posts, in the Hospice Society, and also on my regular page. But when it establishes, and that is the key, you will always be able to divide this up in the spring and move it wherever you want. As a matter of fact, you'll get so much of it, you give it away. I know that probably sounds really like, oh yeah, she can grow anything, but this doesn't get much special treatment at all. I started with 3 plants. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is the all gold. Look at, I mean, it's like, it's too much now. It's like starting to really get to be too much. 1, 2, 3. Like most of these drifts are in 3s. And then the plain Jane over there, which was also started in 3, I just plant them in a V, like 2 in the back, 1 in the front. And this is what happens. The first couple years, they will tolerate dry shade. They will tolerate tree roots. They will tolerate a lot of terrible soil, but you have to baby them for like 3 years. And by baby them, I mean in the spring, you have to hit them with fish emulsion. It's like the #1 thing. I do that with everything, but this especially. In the first 3 years, I don't have to hit these. I don't fertilize these. I don't do anything other than plant tone in the whole garden in the spring and mulch it. I don't do anything else anymore for these. Like, as a matter of fact, I don't want to encourage any more growth because they're too big. So hit them for the first 3 years. Water, a little lobster compost in the hole, a little, what else would help? Bone meal. That's also going to help stimulate the roots. It's going to help with growth. It's going to help with getting them established. And then just hit them 2 times a year, if at a minimum. 2 times for the first year with the fish emulsion. I'm telling you, I have not had a problem growing these. There was one variety that I did try called Beni Kaza. It didn't last. It died. 2 years. It was big when I planted it. The next year it came back kind of crappy. The next year it was dead. So I don't advocate for that one. I have not tried it since. It's supposed to get like a purpley flare in the fall. But yeah, no, definitely not try that one. But the all gold and the Aureola variety, which is the variegated yellow striped one, they're amazing. Once you get them established, year 3, you should start to see them come back and fill in a little bit. They're very slow. Once they're established, they come back and then they just fill in. Like, then you can divide every year, take chunks out. I actually have some on the other side of the rock walls next to that hydrangea hedge. I've been putting them places, and we're going to start putting them along the driveway because they just cascade over really prettily. Yeah, but this garden, we did a little shade garden tour, but the hostas are blooming. If I don't see hummingbirds hitting the flowers, I'm taking them off because I don't like the flowers on my hostas unless they're purple.
I haven't seen many hummingbirds this year.
No, we didn't hang the feeders either this year, but they are around. I have had them around.
Well, that's not good.
What?
Not hanging feeders.
We have fields of flowers.
Well,
they'll be fine. They're eating. We just don't see them where we normally see them. But they are zipping around. So anyway, so that is one thing about the Hakone grass. These are 10 years old. and they have been divided, and I actually cut them to put in my bouquets. So they'll definitely get to a point. You just gotta wait. Year 5. Expect a 5-year establishment period before you're like, wow, these are amazing. Yeah, and they'll get big. You only really need 3 plants. I can vouch for that. What else? That's it pretty much. You know, everything looks okay. This got a lot of spongy moth damage, and they're pretty much done now. They're done taking out the oak and the crab apples, so hopefully we can move on from there. But I have to, you know, edge and weed it and stuff like that.
So would you like to see my special hybridized lily?
Let's go. I mean, I've been waiting all day to
Yes,
see your...
because you're not the only one around here with talent.
Oh, really? So shall we switch the camera around so you can do a tour?
No, we shouldn't.
Why not?
Because I started shaving my head this morning and the battery ran out on my clipper, and I look like
you know what? It's just
Two-Face.
It's really humid. That's
Yes.
fine.
So
yes,
here,
what do
I
you
want to
have?
show you my special Happy Meal lily.
Oh my gosh.
What do you think?
You stole that from me.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
No. All right, well.
You know what? I have a matching one blooming right by the roses.
Is it?
You know what? I probably divided it and put it in the wagon, and you're like, oh, this has roots. I'm going to plant it.
Is it called a Happy Meal?
No, I don't know what that one's called. Pretty
Well,
though.
I mixed a mustard lily and a ketchup lily and made a Happy Meal lily.
Yeah.
What do you think?
McDonald's would be proud.
Yes, well, kind of.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, those are actually pretty. I yanked them out of my sun garden, and I'm happy about that.
I've been having a little problem over here,
Those
similar
are
to you.
hissing.
Yeah,
same as you.
Yep.
But you got some.
They're really hissing me off the way that they're growing, but
well.
I also have some special eyeliner lilies over here. These are my Revlon line. So, yeah.
They don't smell, but they are gorgeous.
They are gorgeous. And there's something else. I've been waiting for you to notice it. Something else that I've done, but you just haven't noticed it. So
Here?
I guess I'm going to have to show
Hold on,
you.
here?
No.
What?
Up there.
Up where?
Maybe you should walk up by the well and see what else your husband's been creating.
Oh boy. This needs to get fertilized.
Yes, it does.
What are you doing?
You notice anything
Yeah,
up here?
I see white flowers.
Remember you gave me a bunch of hydrangea bushes and said, get rid of these.
Wait, what?
You gave me a bunch of plants to get rid of, so I planted them. Right here.
Look how pretty the moth is.
Oh, no, forget the moth. Look how pretty the flower I planted is.
Okay, so that's the wait, you just saw, wait, so the ones that were dying?
Yes. All those that were dying.
Oh my God.
4 of them survived.
Actually, this one is coming back. You should water it.
Well.
It is. It's alive. Water it.
Yeah.
You put it in this terrible clay freaking dirt.
Well, you know, I did put some fish emulsion down.
Well, who am I to judge? I wanted to put them in the compost and look at them. That's very nice.
Yes. Do you know how many plants I saved that you were ready to just chop their heads off?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there's like a driveway full of plants that's begging for your assistance.
Well, I don't know where I'm going to put them. Same reason, you know, they're in the driveway.
There's 2 more of these hydrangeas. So if you want, you can plant them like in a V. Put one in the front here so it's almost like a V every time. There's a whole bunch. Go get them. You can have at it. Because if they're happy here, they don't like afternoon sun. So this is going to be great for them.
You act like I don't know how to properly place a plant.
Hey, oh no, you did good.
I did very good, I think.
You did a very big straight line, but I like it. And you know what? When they grow in, they're going to grow in all like toward the sun, so it'll look pretty.
I think it will.
Very nice. I have not noticed. I would never even come up here.
Well, it usually takes 2 to 3 years to fully develop. So, you know, you got to give it some time, really.
If you look at everything from here, though, actually the back of the garden sort of looked better than the front this year.
I know. We've been walking around for 59 minutes here.
Have we?
Yes. We should probably
so
end this video.
Yes. Well, listen. And the hydrangea vine up the tree that we didn't chop down to the ground is still growing and blooming and looks beautiful. So that's it. We'll end on the hydrangea bash. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Things are happening. They're not perfect. Lots are not perfect this year, but I also, considering how much neglect they've had, it is what it is.
Well,
So, I'm
you know
proud
what?
of the way that they look. I'm proud of the fact that we didn't even mulch, and things, you know, with the drought and everything, look pretty darn decent. And now we're getting enough rain and things are growing in, so everything's happy. We're gonna take some ferns though. These also self-seed, those Japanese painted ferns. Take some of these and put them along the rock wall as you're driving in.
Stop stealing my ideas.
No, you're doing the rock wall. I'm gonna landscape around it. You can
Yes.
have some grass, some ferns. We'll have, this whole left side is gonna be a shade garden. The whole sloping hill.
Well, it was fun walking around the gardens
You know
with
what?
you.
It was. It
And
was.
you know what? There's nothing more beautiful than you.
Aw.
We've seen a lot of beauty today, but
Sorry, I'm getting a Japanese beetle.
I
Thank
know.
you.
But you're the best, honey.
Thank you. You like my pawpaws?
Yes.
By the way, I know we're going to end the video, but this one survived the frost. The other one died back. Like all the leaves died, and it came back. All the leaves came out in the same spot that they died from. I've never seen that happen. Pawpaws are pretty darn hardy, and I'm excited. I'm not going to get flowers this year. That's fine with me, but Japanese beetles do like them. And oh, you little stinker. Oh, I'm getting greedy now. So it came back. I don't know what that is, a weed. But every place that it died, the leaf died, it came back. I was gonna yank it and I saw this little glimmer of lime green, and I'm like, oh my God, they put a leaf out in the same spot that the leaf died.
I know. She was like, get rid of it. I'm
I
like,
didn't want to see it.
maybe you should save
I didn't
it.
say it like that.
Well,
No.
sounded close.
I do just say things like I'm bossing you around, but I think you're probably used to that by now.
Yes, I am. Oh, no.
Sometimes they fly on me.
Yes,
And I
well,
have grooves
it's
in
too
my-
graphic.
I have grooves in my shoes, so I have to like double stomp to make sure I hit them with one of the spots that's not a...
All right, well,
So
I guess...
anyway, yeah, so I'm going to go play, and I'm going to go hybridize some lilies, and I'm going to just take some pictures, and then we're going to spend the day with our daughter and her softball team doing a tournament. So
Sounds great,
enjoy
honey.
your weekend, have fun, try something new, plant something new, and, you know, just have fun in the garden. That's how I'm going to end it, because that's what I'm about to go do. And I hope the sun doesn't come out.
Oh, it will. The minute you start working, it'll be out.
I know. I got to grab a drink of water first, and then I'll be back at it.